Once you come to a seated position, let's just close our eyes. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And again, inhaling and exhaling. Today, being a new moon day, it's connected to the exhalation, the apana energy, this planting, rooting, downward moving energy, growing energy. But it's the stage right before things start to move upwards and grow with the prana, the inhale, moving to the full moon. So taking a few minutes to observe the cycle of the breath, reflecting the cycle of the moon, the inhalation, mirroring the rising and the changing of the moon into the full moon. The exhalation, the waning, the changing of the moon into the new moon. And with each breath, there's a full lunar cycle. And right now we sit at the bottom of the exhalation, in that pause, in that brief moment before the cycle begins again. Inhaling and exhaling. See if you can observe the different sensation or pattern of energy within yourself that connects and correlates to each breath. Observe how each breath makes you feel. Observe where you feel the breath in the body. And take one more deep inhale. And lengthen the exhale. Just pause at the end of that exhale. Feel that space. And again, inhale. And exhale. When you reach the earth, the bottom of the exhale, feel that space, that pause, that void. Before inhaling again. And exhale. And as it is a good time to start something, to begin, to enter into a new cycle with the new moon, let's take a moment and reflect on what you'd like to begin. Some new way of being or some new habit you'd like to reinforce or begin or create. Perhaps it's a new way of seeing the world or a new project, a new attitude, a new practice. It can be something very small to something very large. It can be something for yourself or something for others. Just allow whatever that new thing is that you'd like to plant in this fertile ground of the new moon. And place the seed, the thought, the intention in your heart. Bury it there. Let's see what grows through this cycle. We can come up to standing. Just bring our heels and toes together. Let's pick our toes up and spread them out nice and wide. And take a deep inhale. You can let your shoulders come up. And exhale. Just intentionally drop them down. We'll bring our hands to the heart center. We'll chant Om. Om. And exhale, lower down. Let's take an inhale, lift the hands up. We'll hold here, just stretching up. As we exhale, let's arch over to the right. And then inhale to come back up. And then exhale, arch over to the left. And inhale to come back up. And exhale, reach back just a little. And then inhale back up and exhale as you fold all the way forward. Inhale, lift the gaze, look up. And exhale, come back to your high plank. We'll just hold here in this high plank position with the arms straight and the legs straight and strong. Taking deep, full breaths. And then bring the knees down if you'd like to the floor and lower all the way down. And let's stretch the arms out here, making our body straight and flat. And then we'll inhale and come up either to Cobra, starting to press through the hands and lift the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together. Elbows in beside the rib cage and the pelvis can stay on the floor. Or if you feel ready, you can lift into the upward facing dog. Strong legs, lift the chest. And then exhale, we'll press back to your downward facing dog. You can move through child's pose. And breathe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, walking or hopping your feet forward. Find a little length. And exhale, bending the knees. You can just relax forward, letting the body hang over the legs. And then inhale, come all the way up. Look to the thumbs. And exhale, back to Samasthiti. Let's do that one again. Inhale. Lift the hands, stretch up. And then as you exhale, just arch the body over to the right. And then inhale back up. And exhale over to the left. And then inhale back up. And exhale, reaching back just a little. And inhale back up. And exhale, folding forward all the way down. Feel free to bend the knees here to release the low back. And then inhale, find length. And exhale back. We'll hold the high plank. Try to press through the hands. Make your legs strong. Pull the belly in. Bum is down. Heels are reaching back. Breathing here. 5 breaths. Using those stomach muscles to draw in. And then you can bring the knees down if you'd like and lower all the way to the belly with control. Stretching the hands out. And then inhaling, coming into Sphinx or Cobra. Or you can lift all the way into your upward facing dog. And then just transitioning through the child's pose. You can tuck the toes under and find your way into downward dog if you feel comfortable in downward dog, or stay in child's pose. Breathe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then stepping the feet forward. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Come all the way up. And exhale. Let's bend the knees. Inhale. We'll lift the hands. And exhale. Fold forward. Straightening the legs after you fold. Inhale, lift the gaze. As you exhale, we'll step the right foot back, leaving the left foot forward, and drop the knee down to the floor. As you inhale, come up into this lunge. We'll just breathe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And bring the hands down, step back to your downward facing dog. And from here, you're gonna come forward to the high plank, and you can bring the knees to the floor again if you'd like, and lower all the way down. And stretch the hands out, reach, and then you can lift again. There's a few options, Sphinx or Cobra, or all the way to the upward dog with your inhale. And then exhale back to your downward facing dog. We'll just take 3 breaths here. 2, 3, and then lunge forward with that right foot. Leave the left foot behind. Drop the knee down and inhale. Just coming into a gentle lunge. You can make the lunge a little easier by bringing the knee back so it's not so far forward. Or you can deepen the lunge by really stretching that front knee. If the back knee feels sore, you can put a little blanket or cushion under the back knee, but hopefully you have a nice padded yoga mat. And then bring the hands down, tuck the toes under. We'll step the feet back together. Inhale here. Exhale. And then bend the knees. Inhale all the way up. And exhale back to standing. Again, bending the knees. Inhale. Lift the gaze, lift the heart. Exhale. You can keep the knees bent or even bend deeper as you fold, and then work to straighten the legs. Inhale. Find length here. This time we're going to step that left foot back, leaving the right foot and dropping the knee down. Inhale, come up. You can place the hands on the knees, or if you'd like, you can stretch the arms into the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And place the hands down. Step the feet back to the downward facing dog. Find that position and then inhale to come forward into the high plank. You can bring the knees to the floor if you'd like and lower all the way down to the belly. Stretching the hands out, stretch and flatten the body to the floor. And then with the inhale, coming up either into Sphinx here, or the hands can come back a little bit further into Cobra. They're still not quite under the shoulders though for Cobra. Or they can come all the way under the shoulders and you can lift and straighten the arms and the legs for upward dog. And then exhale, coming back to your downwards dog. Feel free to move through the child's pose into the downward dog. We'll breathe 3 breaths, 2, 3, and then inhale, lunge the left foot forward, leaving the right foot behind. And come up into the lunge with the inhale. Or lift the hands and breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, plant the hands down. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, step the feet together, find length. Exhale, fold forward here into the legs, bending the knees. Inhale to come up. And exhale, back to Samasthiti. Good, let's take the feet hip width apart. We're just gonna bend the knees and we'll roll the body forward here. And you can take opposite elbows and then slowly start to straighten the legs. So try to close the space between the ribs and the thighs, and then keep the space closed. Only straighten the legs to the point where you can keep the ribs against the thighs. If at any point when you straighten, the ribs come off, bend them a little bit deeper here. So you can hang over the legs, or you can take the arms around the backs of the legs if that's more comfortable. Kind of up to you, how you're feeling today. It's just a nice forward fold using the breath. Try to relax the head and the neck. And then see if you can bring your weight forward into the balls of the feet. So you're not hanging into the heels, but the feet are equally weighted with some weight forward. And from here, bending the knees, we'll just come into a squatting position. And you're going to take the feet a little bit wider. So from your squatting position, maybe you need to bring your hands to the floor. You can take your feet wider and turn your feet out and come into this squatting position here. And if you feel comfortable, like you can balance, you can bring the hands to prayer and use the elbows to gently open the legs and the hips. Nice deep full breaths here. Just feeling this heaviness in the pelvis and a rooted feeling through the hips. Good. And then let's wrap our right arm around our leg and see if we can take the left arm back. We're just going to gently open the shoulder. It's not so intense. It's just a little twist. And if you can't reach your hands, it's fine. You can always just wrap this arm around by the ankle and reach back here. If you can take your fingers, you can make the bind. Good. And then to the other side, wrapping that left arm around, either leaving it by your ankle or lifting it up on the thigh. And take your right arm back, and twisting just to where you can go. Just getting a feeling of moving the body in a different way. Deep, full breaths. Good. And then from here, we're just going to take the hands back and sit on the floor. We'll bring our feet forward a little so that they're hip width apart. We're going to take our hands back behind us And then just inhale and lift up. Let the head go back, just stretching through the shoulders, pressing through the feet, feeling a lift through the pelvis. Breathing. Four, five, good. And then exhale, you'll push through the feet and come into a seated position. Let's keep the feet hip width apart. And we're gonna fold forward here. So again, you can bend the knees and just start to fold forward. And then slowly work to straighten the legs using the breath. And try to keep the chest and the spine rounded and relaxed. And the head can just drop between the legs if you're in a nice full forward fold here. It's like you're doing Padahastasana or Padangusthasana in a seated position, so the legs are in line with the pelvis. And just try to keep the shoulders relaxed. No tension in the neck or the shoulders. And there's no pulling. You're just using the breath to relax more deeply here in this forward fold. Good. And then slowly inhale to sit up. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, taking this wide diamond position or Baddha Konasana position. And again, we're going to fold forward here, letting the legs just externally rotate now. We've done a forward fold with them parallel facing up, and now they're externally rotating. And this is going to feel a little different through the low back muscles and probably through the hips. If you can't rest your head on the feet, you can take a bolster or a block or a pillow. Just place it in your feet. Even if you have like a rolled up shirt, you can use that just to relax forward. And try to really let the head and the neck and the shoulders release, and let the legs relax in the hips. And again, if you're feeling pain under one or both knees, you can always place something underneath, a shirt, a pillow, a block, and that will help to create more relaxation through the hips. So if you're worried about your knee, you're holding tension in the hips to protect the knee as you go forward. You really need to let that leg feel supported by the earth or a cushion so that you can completely relax here. We'll take a few more breaths. With each exhale, see if you can just let go a little bit more, a little bit deeper. Take any tension out of the shoulders. You can always press on the legs with the hands or the elbows. Or if you find that creates a lot of tension, you can take the hands back and just try to let the shoulders release without any extra straining or striving. The more you can let go here, the more you can relax and release, the deeper your body will move, the deeper your mind will move into that space of softness. And then slowly come all the way up. And now we're going to go back, and you can pull your feet in a little bit if you'd like to make a little less of an angle for Baddha Konasana. We're going to lengthen back here, lying down. And now if you have your pillow or your blanket or your bolster, you can just place it under your chest or under your head, or both if you can. Just open and relax the chest. So let the arms just open And feel that deep stretch. It's not, intense, but it's nice, it's relaxing, it's creating a greater sense of opening and release through the upper back and the mid back, and allowing the diaphragm to really expand more fully as you're breathing. And the shoulders and the chest. You want the pillow to be, if you can, kind of between the shoulder blades. Depending on the height, you might want something under your head. But if it's just a little bit of an arch, you can just keep the head on the floor. And really try to deepen and extend the breath here. Just enjoy this very soft back bend. Make sure also getting a hip opening as well, letting gravity just release and press on the inner thighs. Sometimes you can intensify the sensation by stretching and reaching the arms overhead if you want a little deeper feeling, a little more opening through that upper back behind the heart center. Take a few more breaths here. And then bringing the elbows down to the floor. You can just come all the way up. Just moving the bolster or your pillow or your block out of the way. And we'll come all the way up and extend the legs straight out in front. And again, we can just fold forward in this Paschimottanasana position. Just breathe here. Again, it's the opposite sensation. So if this opening and this back bend was like the full moon rising, creating this pranic opening, now we're back into the new moon with this grounding, aponic, rounded, earthing energy as we fold forward. Good. And then we'll just tuck the feet underneath and roll forward if we can, and come onto all fours. Bringing the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. We'll inhale and open the chest, feeling all of that opening you just created lying there. And then exhale, rounding the spine, drawing the belly in. Inhale, opening the chest. There's the full moon, the prana. And then exhale, here's the apana, the rooting, the earthing, the grounding energy of the new moon. Again, inhale and exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, rounding. And inhale, opening the chest. And exhale, rounding. And we'll drop down to the feet into child's pose. Let the knees open a little bit deeper so you can let your belly sink to the floor between the legs. Just resting the head on the floor or on your hands or a pillow. Just take 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pressing the hands out in front. We'll lift the hips and press back into the downward facing dog. And again, 5 breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then walking the feet forward. We'll come to a seated position. Let's take our right foot back into this tiering position. So the top of the foot is to the floor. And if you're way up here, don't worry. We're going to open this leg a little and make it easier. And again, you can open it just at about a 45-degree angle, or you can open it all the way to 90. It's going to feel a little more intense at 90. Good. So from here, let's walk the hands forward. And now we're going forward between our legs. So kind of diagonally. We're just going to breathe here and try and feel that release of the leg and the hip. 3, 4, and 5. And slowly come up, and then we're just going to open out to the side. So start to lift the chest, really trying to drop your left shoulder down towards your knee or in front of the leg. You can press your left hand towards your right thigh or your right hip. Stretch the right hand up and then slowly taking it over to the side. And stretching here, maybe finding your foot. Deep breaths. 2, 3, 4, and then inhale to come up. And let's just turn the leg in. So bringing the heel in towards the pubic bone. Again, staying in this angle. I haven't moved my left leg. I've just changed my right leg. So now it's in an external rotation. And again, walking forward and just see how that feels different. Observe what these different asanas do to different areas of the body. 3, try and release. 4, 5. And then inhale to come up. And again, let's do this side one. So dropping the shoulder down. This time again, you can press on the thigh with the left hand, reaching the right hand up if you want to take it back a little to help open the chest even more. You might discover something interesting there, and slowly reaching it over towards the foot and breathing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And inhale all the way up. Good. And then we'll just bring the feet back together. And exhale, fold forward into this Paschimottanasana position. Breathe here. 5 breaths. 3. Try to relax the head down. 4. Again, you can sometimes use a block to fold over the block. Or you can bring the block or the bolster to the knees and drop the head onto the bolster if you're not coming down to the legs. Or you can always bend the knees and just hug them into the chest and drop the head down. And that's 5. Let's take the hands back behind us. And we're going to just start to lift the chest here and open. You can just leave the hips on the floor. Just getting this deep opening through the shoulders and the upper back. Nice deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then bring the soles of the feet flat down to the floor and press the hips up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, come back down to seated. And we'll take the left leg back in this Tiriyang position. So the top of the foot is to the floor beside the sit bone. And then don't worry if it's way up here. We're going to move this leg over. Give you a little bit of a chance. You can take the leg again at 45 or 90 for a little deeper sensation, deeper stretch, and then walk the hands forward, going diagonally between the two legs. And relaxing the head down into the hands, or again, you can always use a pillow or a bolster. Just try and let the neck release, the shoulders release. And keep energy in your right extended foot as you're breathing. 2, deep breaths. 3, 4, see what you can let go of, what you don't need to hang on to. 5, inhale, come all the way up, and then opening the chest up towards the ceiling. You're reaching your right shoulder down, down, down as far as you can. You can bring the hand to the thigh, and then stretching the left arm up. We're reaching over. 1, nice side stretch. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And inhale, come all the way up. Then we're just moving the left leg, turning it out and bringing it into a type of Janu Shirshasana position, but we're not bringing our Janu or our Shirsha to our Janu. We're not going to bring our head to our knee. We're going to go forward towards the floor. So little different. Opening through the adductors. Giving a different kind of opening for the body, for the legs, the hips, and the low back. Gentle opening. Again, try to release. You might notice some pretty big differences between the different postures of externally or internally rotating the one leg. You might observe some big differences from side to side. It's always fascinating to see how our body holds tension. Then try to use the breath to help it release the tension. And then we're going to roll again that right shoulder down towards that right leg. You can sit up to do this, or you can just kind of open the chest up. And again, you can press your right hand down on that left thigh and lift the left hand up. And if you want, you can use the weight of the arm to help pull and open the chest a little bit more. And then stretching and reaching again in this side stretch. Breathing here, 1. And try and pull the belly in, 2. as you're stretching the fingertips out and over the leg. 3, 4, and 5. And inhale to come all the way up. And then we'll just extend the legs out in front. And exhale, folding forward in our forward bend. We'll breathe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And inhale, rolling all the way up. And then we're going to take our right leg and cross it to the outside edge of our left leg. Now this position can be done keeping your left leg straight, or you can tuck the left leg underneath for Ardha Matsyendrasana position. This is also an Ardha Matsyendrasana position with the legs straight. It's just another variation on the same idea or posture. So you can do either versions with the left leg straight or tucking the foot in so the heel's by the sit bone, and then hugging the right knee into the chest. You're going to start to gently twist out over the right shoulder and breathe here. Try to keep both sit bones firmly planted into the earth, and then pull that lower belly in. And you can just hug the knee, or you can take the back of the arm to the back of the leg so that the armpit and the knee are together. And you can put your hand up as if you're saying, peace be with you. Or you can reach down for your foot if you'd like to try the Ardha Matsyendrasana hand position, which is grabbing the inner arch of your foot or your knee as an alternate variation. Or if you want to get kind of fancy, you could try to tuck your hands underneath that bend in your right knee and reach back. And you can bind this position. And breathe. 3, 4, 5. Good. I think that was a lot longer than 5 breaths, but we'll cross the right knee over. So we're just pulling and sliding that right foot into the sit bone and the left foot also into the sit bone. And then feel the sit bones planted to the earth. And we're going to exhale, folding forward here over the legs, relaxing the head down. 1, deep breaths. 2, 3. If the chest doesn't come to the legs, maybe you can place the head on the knees, or just dropping and using the exhale to keep releasing and taking you more and more forward. 5. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Let's lift our right arm up and tuck that left arm underneath the elbow, bringing the palms together. Pull the elbows out in front of you and lift the hands up so you're opening the shoulders, the back, and the neck, and look to the sky. Deep breaths. 1, 2, keep trying to deepen your inhale, create some space with the breath. 3, 4, and 5. Good. And then we'll release the hands and we'll move to this other beautiful posture, dropping the right arm down behind the head. You can start by just bringing the left hand to the right elbow and breathing here. Let's turn our head to the right. We'll look to the right armpit and take a couple of breaths, and then come back and look to the left. And then you can leave your left hand on the elbow, or you can stretch it back and see if you can find your fingers. And let's look down towards the legs. You can notice here when you look down, you think, oh, I better Draw my belly in. And you can even do this still holding the elbow, so you don't need to find your fingers. You can press on the elbow and look down. And then we'll try to lift the gaze up. Three, 4, and 5. Good. We'll take the hands forward and see if you can push off your feet and then step back. We'll press into a downward facing dog. So lift the hips up. And then come forward to the high plank position like we did before, stretching through the legs, keeping the belly strong, pressing back through the heels, the chest is forward. And then you can drop the knees to the floor if you want, or you can lower with straight legs. And stretch all the way out, reaching the hands to the floor, head to the floor, and then lifting. You can either take Sphinx posture as you inhale. You can take Cobra as you inhale. If you'd like to take 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 breaths here, you can. Or Upward Dog with a nice inhale. And then finally exhaling to your downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then inhale, walking or hopping the feet through. And we move to the left side. So lifting the left knee up, crossing the foot over, hugging the knee into the chest. Your right leg can stay straight. If it's straight, make sure there's energy all the way to the end of the foot so the ankle is flexed. Or the right leg can be bent. Moving into this Ardha Matsyendrasana position. The armpit and the knee come together. You can make the peace be with you sign. Or you can reach for the inside arch of the foot or for your knee, maybe wrapping your opposite hand around behind you. Or you can get kind of fancy and slide the arm through underneath the knee and find that bind. Breathing here, deep breaths. With each inhale, try to find more length, get taller through the spine. And each exhale, see if you can twist a little deeper. 4, and 5. Good. And then looking forward, crossing the left knee over and bringing the heels in beside you. Let's exhale, folding forward over the knees. Relaxing the head down wherever you are. Try to pull the belly into the spine. You're just breathing here. 2, with each exhale, try to soften and deepen this position. 3, taking big breaths, letting go with each exhale. 4, and 5. And then inhale, come all the way up. This time lifting the left arm up, taking that right arm, wrapping it underneath, and placing the palms together. And the elbows stretch out in front. And you're going to lift the fingers up towards the sky. If you can, you're lifting your head to look up to the hands. Deep breaths. 2. Nice stretch through the shoulders. 3, 4, 5. And exhale to release, and then lifting that left arm up. Inhale. Exhale, drop the hand down, bring the right hand to the elbow, and we'll look to the left here. Taking a couple of breaths, and then looking to the right. And then looking down, you can stay here 5 breaths. And if you want to reach for your fingers, you can take your fingers behind the back. And then looking up if you can. Again, you can still be pressing on the elbow, looking up. Or you can keep the head neutral or continue looking down. 3, 4, and 5. Good. And then releasing, bringing the hands forward, stepping or hopping the feet back. We'll come into the downward dog position and breathe here. 3, 4, and 5. And then come forward to the high plank. Again, holding here, chest is forward, arms are strong, heels are pulling away from the chest. So you're moving in opposite directions with the 2 parts of your body, your head, your chest versus your toes and your feet and your legs. And then you can bring the knees down if you'd like, lowering all the way to the floor. Stretching out. Feel the body flat here. Feel that grounded earthing feeling with the head into the floor. And then let's come into the Sphinx posture. We'll hold here in Sphinx for 5 breaths, drawing the shoulder blades together. 1, nice deep full breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll replace the hands and come into Cobra. Pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. Pull the elbows back behind you and in towards the rib cage, and lift the chest, but keep the pubic bone and the hip bones on the floor. The legs are active and engaged. All 5 toes, the tops of them are pressing into the earth. So rooting down to lift and grow up. Good, and then bring the hands back a little more beside the bottom ribs or under the shoulders and lift into the upward facing dog if you feel comfortable. Breathing here. 3, 4, and 5. And then exhale, let's come back into child's pose. Dropping the hips down to the heels, letting the belly drop forward between the legs, stretching the arms out in front. And again, letting the head just release and relax into the earth. And then we'll tuck the toes under and press into the downward facing dog. And take 5 breaths here. 3, 4, 5. And then coming to the knees, let's bring the hands flat to the floor, pressing through the palms. We're going to bring our head to the floor, the top of the head. We're just going to lift our hips up here and start to walk our feet forward towards our face. If you feel comfortable doing that, see if you can bring the knees to the backs of the arms or the elbows. And then if you feel comfortable there, you can try and lift your knees. We're just going to balance here for 5 breaths, getting that compression, that pressure through the top of the head and through the spine. 1, you can get that with the feet off the floor or even with the feet on the floor. 2, try to use your lower belly to keep lifting. 3, if you feel comfortable, you can lift all the way up if you want. 4, 5. And from here, you can lift the leg or gently lower the legs down. If you're balancing with your knees in your armpits or on your arms, you can gently lower the feet down. And if the feet were on the floor, You just drop the knees down and everyone will come down into child's pose again. Let's drop the hands back behind us this time. The tops of the hands can be open to the sky. Sorry, the palms of the hands and the tops of the hands earthing down to the floor, releasing the shoulders and the neck and the head. This one, the knees can be together, so you're really rounding the back. Good. And then from here, we'll just step back into this high plank position. Strong legs, press back through the heels. And if you want, you can drop the knees down, lowering all the way to the floor. Stretching out. And then as you inhale, taking your choice, cobra, sphinx, or upward dog. And exhale back to your downward facing dog. And then lying down onto your back. We'll just lift into shoulder stand or Vipiriti Karani. So you're gonna lift the hips up and bring the hands to the hips. And if you want to make this a very gentle shoulder stand position, leave the hips lined up over the elbows, away from the head. So the body's in kind of like a half shoulder stand. If you'd like to make it a little more intense, you're trying to stack the hips up over the shoulders, placing your body in a straight line. And again, we're just going to hold 5 breaths. 3, I guess maybe it's a little longer with all of my talking. 4, and 5. And then lowering into halasana or plow pose. Again, if you're halfway, you're just going to stretch the toes out behind you. They don't need to come to the floor. If they come to the floor, you can either leave your hands on your hips or interlace the fingers and drop them down to the floor. 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to slowly lower the hips all the way down with straight legs. Using that control, and you lie flat on your back. And then pressing through the elbows, the legs can stay straight today. You lift and open the chest, take the top of the head to the floor for Matsyasana position. The hands can just rest beside the legs or the hips. And you're using the elbows to press into the earth. And the chest is rising up and your neck is opening. 4 nice deep full breaths here. And 5. And then exhale to come down. Hug the knees into the chest. We'll just take a gentle twist, dropping the knees over to the left, look over the right. Just take 1 or 2 breaths here, releasing. Come back through the middle with an inhale and then exhale over to the other side. Looking over your left shoulder, relaxing, releasing. And then hugging the knees into the chest. We'll rock all the way up and find a seated posture. So again, coming into whatever is a comfortable cross-legged position for you. You can just reach for the opposite elbows, or if you're in Baddha Padmasana, you can fold forward into Yoga Mudra. Let's just root here, dropping the head to the floor. So either in easy Sukhasana position, or you can take Lotus and Yoga Mudra and Baddha Padmasana. I'm just breathing here. Letting all of the benefits of the practice just soak in, letting the neck, the head release and relax. Just sealing in. It's a mudra or a variation of a mudra, so we're sealing in the benefits of the practice, sealing in that prana that you created through your breath, through your circulation. And then coming up to seated, if you'd like, you can take Jnana Mudra, or you can just place your hands on your knees or in your lap, wherever feels comfortable for you. And then just taking deep, full breaths. Again, returning to that cycle of the inhale and the exhale. Watching the beautiful circle the breath makes. And maybe pausing for a moment at the top. And then watching it come down and pausing for a moment at the bottom. And watching it move back up. Again, there's a slight pause, a suspension of the breath before it moves down into the earth. And then there's a burying, a small death of the breath before it again rises, resurrects, and grows and lifts. And is suspended at the top and again going down. See if you can just envision the cycle of the breath, the small death, the new life, the pinnacle, the suspension, the elation at the top, and then again, the relaxation, the denouement, into the death, into the earth, and again, arising. Chant Om 3 times. Om.